everyone, welcome to Get Curried. I'm Tarika. Today I'm going to show you a recipe that is inspired by Italy but so very Desi. It's Keema Macaroni, something that we've all grown up eating in our homes, but I make it slightly differently as a one-pan dish, not just because it's easier but also much yummier. So let's get started. I have some oil heating up in this pan, and the first thing I'm going to add is a bay leaf and one black cardamom. See that it's starting to sizzle already. This is regular oil, and next to go in is some finely chopped onion. I'm going to cook that for a bit. And now that the onions are starting to take on some color, I'm going to add some finely minced garlic and ginger. Cook that on a low flame. I'm also going to add a little bit of chili flakes because I love it. But if you don't want this to be too spicy, you can use slightly less. But I really like a little bit of a kick to this recipe. It's so good. The chili flakes just add so much flavor. Yum, yum, yum. You see that beautiful color that the onions, ginger, garlic, everything has taken on, and I can tell you it smells absolutely divine. So now with the flame on low, now it's time to add tomato puree. This is homemade tomato puree. Stir that in. The flame is on low, otherwise this will just kind of splatter all over you. It's lovely. Now you know our Indian tomatoes tend to be quite acidic, so I like adding a little bit of sugar. I'm out of regular sugar, so I'm just adding some jaggery, but feel free to use whatever sugar you have at home. Stir that in. I'm going to take the flame onto high right now. I'm also going to add some salt. Not too much, add little bit of salt at this stage because we're going to add more later. So you see that's very little that's gone in. Now this is Kashmiri red chili powder. This gives more color than a lot of heat or spice. Stir that in. When this tomato puree has been bubbling for about 2 minutes, at that point of time, you want to add some peas so that they can cook into this gravy sauce. It's going to be so yum. Stir that in. You can use whatever vegetable you like. Corn is also excellent in this. Stir that in, and we're going to let this cook for another few minutes. Look at that beautiful color. This has been cooking for another 2 minutes. It's still not done cooking. So this is the perfect stage to add our keema. I'm using some chicken keema. Add that, stir it in. Because at this stage, it will add flavor to our yummy, yummy tomato mixture. So you want the flavor from the keema to get into it at this stage. Taken the flame up to slightly high and just mix this keema really well. Once you've stirred the keema in, you'll see that on a high flame it just starts to release a little bit of water. So this is the perfect time. Take the flame down to low, cover this and let it cook for about a couple of minutes now. I've cooked this keema covered for about 3-4 minutes, and now I'm going to add a little bit of water and cook this uncovered for another 2 to 3 minutes. Chicken keema cooks very quickly. Just stir that in. The reason why I've added the water is so that the keema doesn't dry out. Last thing that you want is dried out keema. So there you go. Increase the flame and then we can reduce it. You see that is so beautiful. The oil has started to float on top. This is the stage we were waiting for. The masala is cooked. It's amazing. Now is the stage to add the pasta. Macaroni. Love this shape. It just immediately reminds me of my childhood. I don't know what it is about it. Stir that in. I'm going to add some water. To begin with, I'm going to add 1 cup of water, and we can always add more, but just don't add too much to begin with. By my estimation, this should need anywhere from like about 1/4 to about 1/2 cup more of water. Now at this stage, you want to add more salt, because remember that pasta is always boiled in salted water, so it needs plenty of salt, and this is what is really going to give a lot of flavor to this. Stir that in, and I'm going to take the flame up to high. You can see that it's starting to simmer, so I'm taking the flame down to low, and I'm going to cover this. Keep an eye on it, because we're waiting now for the macaroni to get cooked. The keema is almost nearly done, so obviously it will be completely done by the time the macaroni is also done cooking. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Now this is where my recipe is different from the traditional keema macaroni recipe, where macaroni is boiled separately and then mixed with the keema. Now that's a great way, I don't deny it, but this way, when you cook it in the same pan, the starchy water of the pasta just makes the sauce yummier, and the keema gets into the tube of the macaroni, and it's just yummy, and it never gets dry. It's been about 5 minutes since I've been cooking this covered. I've just taken the lid off, and you'll see a lot of the water has been absorbed, but the pasta still needs to be cooked a little bit more. So I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of water to this. Take the flame up high again. It'll simmer very quickly this time. Now flames back down to low, and we're going to cook this covered for another few minutes. It's been about 2 minutes, and let's check on our pasta. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can just tell that it's cooked. Just see the size of the macaroni now. I did add another 1/4 cup of water, so at this point of time you can do a taste check to see if you want to add more salt. And the thing about macaroni and pasta is that, you know, as it sits in this gravy, it's going to absorb the gravy a little bit more. So by the time we garnish it, it would have absorbed this as well, but it'll never at any point become dry. So I'm going to turn this off. On a scale of 1 to 10, just how quickly do you want to eat this right now? Garnish it with some cheese. Coriander is optional, but eating it is mandatory. That was my super easy recipe for keema macaroni. I really hope that you will try this easy recipe. It's a great weeknight dinner. And of course, like this video and subscribe to get curried.